EA just dropped the campus huddle for College Football 27, talking about the update that is going to come, and they said it's later this week. So today's the 14th. I'm assuming it's going to be Thursday the 16th, but what we're going to do is we're going to go through everything that's in this campus huddle, talk about the changes that are coming to Road to Glory Dynasty mode, as well as patch notes for Dynasty gameplay, everything like that. Cover everything that's included. I'm going to give you my thoughts on the things that are in this campus huddle as we look forward to either starting your Dynasties for the first time like myself with this update, or proceeding as business as usual with the update in your current Dynasty. So without further ado, y'all, let's just go ahead, dive right in. So I have it pulled up here on the screen, and we're just going to kind of break it down. Now, this is kind of interesting. So when they came out and said that they were going to remove all paid options and kind of, go with that change, I think a lot of people were under the impression they were going to revert everything back to College Football 26. However, they have come out and said that they are not reverting all the XP options in Dynasty mode back to 26. They're sticking to the original game plan that they announced with the new career simulation and whatever the other one was, where the fastest speed setting in 27 is now equivalent to faster in 26. Also, they are not adding the sliders back to Road to Glory, and they're going to kind of break things down here. Let's talk about it. So it says, we're going to kind of skip some of the stuff I don't think that is important here. We're going to start here where it says in College Football 25, the max coach level was 50. Many players reached that cap early in their career arc, which left them with no additional levels to work towards and no additional coach points to earn. In College Football 26, we expanded that cap to 100 based on that feedback, and level 75 became roughly equivalent to the max College Football 25 coach in terms of abilities owned, with 25 additional levels added as endgame progression. The structure continues in College Football 27. The goal is not for every coach to quickly reach level 100. The goal is to give players more years of meaningful coach point decisions across 20 to 30 year career arc. We're going to pause. I said this on X. I didn't say it in my video that I did previously, but I want to make two things clear about this statement. I am 100% okay with them putting in this statement. The goal is to have players have a 20 to 30 year career before they become elite, like level 100. I'm okay with that. But if that's your stance, you can't release Dynasty mode the way it's released the last couple years with the recruiting and the prospects and all the issues in the transfer portal and stuff like that. The player progression, like, you can't have Dynasty mode release with so many issues. This year, I think Dynasty mode had more issues than any other year, because not only did you have stuff with the recruiting from the CPU, the NIL issue, the transfer portal issue, right, which were all things from last year's game, but then you add in the player progression got absolutely nerfed into the ground, and within 4 years of simming on max 300 XP for all positions, you had 75 less players, 90 overall or better. That can't happen in a game where you're telling us the goal is 20 to 30 years. So for 28, y'all have to do your due diligence. Y'all have to run tests in simulations out 20, 30 years to make sure player progression is balanced and legit, that this NIL stuff doesn't happen, transfer portal stuff doesn't happen. You have to put in the work. If you're going to sell us on 20 to 30 years, you can't release Dynasty mode in the way that it released in 27 or 26 or 25. Those two things cannot happen. You can't do that. I just want to make that clear. So then it says the fastest way to advance your coach is to lean into your coach archetype, blah, blah. A lot of this is just kind of reiterating what they said on Friday when they announced, or whenever it was, that they were going to adjust stuff. Friday, I think they were changing some stuff. Whenever they said that they were going to adjust stuff, this is where they're kind of leaning into. So they're keeping the same coach speed settings that they had previously announced. In the next title update, They're updating their coach speed settings based on feedback. And we're going to have the career, which is the current pace that normal is right now. Then they're going to have the simulation, which is 1.25 XP. Then they're going to call the last one casual, which is 1.5 XP. I don't like the term casual there because, what was it? Bengal did the math. If you play every game, each game takes an hour, and you played 5 hours a week, you would be you did that 5 hours a week for a year, you'd earn half the XP that you need to be level 100. And that's playing 5 games a week. That's 5 hours a week. That's if you're simulating recruiting and you're not doing anything else. You're just playing games. Bengal did the math. So I don't think casual is the right term there. Because 5 hours a week for some people is a lot. Especially if you play other video games, which... I don't know if you know this, EA. People like to play Madden too. You sell bundled versions of the game. So 5 hours a week for a lot of people is a lot. And so there has to be an option. I don't think casual's the right term for that. That's just me. I don't think it's a fair term. But I digress. We got a 50% XP boost. So... those settings will take effect in existing Dynasty, and the Coach XP settings will be available in both online and offline, which is very cool. Let's see here. Let's move forward. This is why Fastest is not returning. The new Coach XP settings are designed to give players more control over progression pace while preserving the long-term balance of Dynasty Blueprint. Okay, I know Scott OG loves the word balance. I already hit it. I'm not going to beat a dead horse, but Dynasty has to have the balance 20 to 25 years in. It releases and there's no balance after 1. Okay, just for 28. We're going to circle back to this in 28. Dynasty recruiting updates. This is the sauce right here, y'all. We are making several tuning adjustments and fixes to improve recruiting balance across Dynasty in our title update this week. Adjusted recruiting tuning to improve how CPU-controlled teams compete for highly rated recruits. This is a W. Improved how CPU teams prioritize and retain recruits after extending offers. Again, this is a W. We have tuned late-cycle recruiting scenarios that could leave some recruits without viable offers. They added a note here. We wanted to dive deeper into this change. This will be a 2-part fix with the first part going in tomorrow. Okay, so it's dropping tomorrow, guys. And the second in a future title update. You may still see some recruits not have offers, but you should see a significant reduction in how many are available. Dev Insight. Changes should be seen immediately when you log back into your Dynasty. However, full changes from this update will be more evident in your next season or a new Dynasty. Perfect. Adjusted recruiting balance to better reflect expected recruiting distributions. Adjusted off-season player progression to increase across the board. This is a huge one. As Jaden pointed out, call me Jaden. If you don't subscribe, go check out his videos. Puts out a lot of amazing information. This is the guy who did the test, all 300, and noticed a huge drop-off. And that's another reason why there were some issues, right? There just wasn't talent developing. So if they're adjusting player progression to increase across the board, that's fantastic. Dev note, this will result in more players being 90 overall or higher as you go deeper into your dynasties. Dev Insight, we will have a second update that will come in a future title update that will further adjust this to further improve recruiting generation and player progression. So I think we're a good enough state to start. We'll definitely do some tests and see how it looks, of course. We also want to give you a quick preview of what is coming in a future major title update that we wanted to get your eyes on. Fixed an issue where recruits were being pursued by Hawaii could incorrectly receive an F grade for proximity to home. Fixed an issue where a player's risk of transfer bar could display incorrectly after making a valid NIL offer within the player's NIL evaluation was more than double their expectation. Recruiting budget tuning for schools. So they did tune NIL budgets for schools. That is awesome. Wish we had a little bit more detail on that, but I guess we'll find out tomorrow. Road to Glory progression XP sliders. Standalone XP sliders are not returning to Road to Glory because progression in College Football 27 is now built around the full structure of the mode. Difficulty, weekly decisions, fitness, NIL deals, wear and tear, legacy score, scholarship bonuses, and on-the-field bonus. I'm going to translate all this for you guys. They are coming out next year with a mode similar to NBA 2K. You're going to have your Road to Glory story mode, and you're going to be playing online competitively. That is the only logical reason that you would implement this in an offline mode, where people start multiple Road to Glory careers. They do the same position but start off at different tiers, and they just have fun with it. The only reason you would do something like this is to prepare people for what's going to happen, which is that they're going to implement an open world style. You play with your character, whether it's like the yard in Madden, I'm not really sure, but that's what it is. That's why, I mean, in NBA 2K, you can go play on rookie mode, but that's exclusive to the offline part, and it scales how much VC you earn, just like here. So they're literally copying how 2K does it, and 2K has a mode where you can take your player and go play online. So I think that's what it is. I'm going to just translate it. That's what that means. Look forward to that in the game next year. The weekly agenda is tuned around the full player management loop in College Football 27. Fitness and leadership both impact how quickly you earn progression XP, giving players more control over growth across the season. I'll be honest, this sounds like just a bunch of them doubling down on they're not making changes to Road to Glory. It's going to piss off a lot of people. I don't really play Road to Glory because you can't bring it cleanly into Madden, and that ruins it for me. If I could actually bring my player and have anything that I did in Road to Glory actually matter in Superstar mode and had my player look the same, then I would do it. But when there's no transfer, it's literally pointless. To me, Road to Glory just seems a waste of time for me personally. But I do agree that this shouldn't be implemented a year in advance to prepare people. Just do it all next year when you can give the excuse of, well, this is why online's here. So yeah, we're going to skip through Road to Glory. They're not changing anything. This is just giving the reason why they're not making any changes. They did address this in Road to Glory for Edge position battle progression. Addressed an issue where Edge players in Road to Glory could fail to trigger position battles required to advance on the depth chart. We have an additional fix planned for next week's update that will fully resolve this issue. So we're going to update this week, and we're getting one, it sounds like, next week? 2? Right? Alright, gameplay. The title update includes gameplay stability fixes we continue to gather and evaluate player feedback. We are also targeting another gameplay-focused update for next week, which includes fixes for the following. Defensive package reset during hurry-up offense. Fix an issue where a custom defensive package selected by the defensive user would not persist if the offense immediately ran hurry-up or no-huddle offense. Defensive packages should now remain consistent instead of resetting back to the default package in these situations. Switch stick impact delay. Fix an issue where switch stick could sometimes feel delayed when quickly swapping to different players. If you want to learn more about what the team has been tracking, like pancake blocks, head over to our post here. It's interesting they didn't mention pancake blocks. They did say that they were tracking it and were going to fix it. And it sounded like they were going to fix it in the update that's coming right now, but I'm not seeing anything there. Let's click and see what it does say here. It says click here. Head on over to the post here. Because maybe I'm misinterpreting that. Gameplay. This was we definitely see conversation around pancake blocks happening more than you would like, and we agree. We're actively investigating the issue, and we'll share more details once we've completed testing and have an update. So apparently they don't have an update. I guess that's where we're at. I literally thought pancake blocks when I read that. I thought they were going to have that in the update that we're going to get. But I do think no matter what, we can start our dynasties now. I've been holding off on it, or restart. The pancake block will just come down the line. It doesn't sound like they're doing anything crazy to gameplay, which is fantastic because it doesn't need anything, just a couple things here and there. But otherwise, I know this is going to throw a couple people off. It did me, because I honestly thought they were going to revert the whole Dynasty thing. But what they ended up doing is they announced the changes to the speeds, and they were keeping the paid progression in. But then what they did is they kept the changes to the Dynasty speed, but now if you wanted to, you can't buy extra tiers. I feel like if they just reverted to the college football 26 normal, faster, fastest, and then still leave the option in there, that's a win. I don't think anyone was complaining about them monetizing the mode. I think people were complaining about them monetizing after they slowed down your progression. If you just put the progression options back into how it was in 26, leave the extra options in there to monetize. Same with Road to Glory, although it doesn't really make sense because you can't do anything with that player once you're finished with it, but put the XP sliders back in and still leave the option for people to buy tiers if they want to. People were complaining about the removal of how fast things could go, not that you monetize them. It is just because you did it together. To me, I don't know, if I was EA, I would have just put everything back to 26 and then said here, oh, also if you want to just buy to a level 100, you can. But I'm not sure this is the win everyone thought it was. We definitely were happy that we got monetization removed, but I think everybody thought that they were moving monetization, reverting back to 26. That didn't happen. So this doesn't feel quite like the win. This is literally the same stuff we're getting prior to them saying they're removing monetization. So that's definitely interesting to me. I feel like they kind of screwed themselves. Increase the speed back to 26, keep monetization in. There's stupid people out there who'll pay to do it. I mean, I don't know. Anyways, good news is, guys, we can start our dynasties. Let me know what you think of this update that they gave, and what you're most excited for, or what you're still waiting for them to address in what sounds like another update next week. Otherwise, stay tuned to the next one, y'all. Peace.